Hello and welcome to a Word Power Nugget, an outreach of Agape Word Online and Jerry Williams Ministries. I'm Jerry Williams, and today's nugget will come from the book of 1 Thessalonians. 1 Thessalonians chapter 5, verse 18. And I'm reading to you out of the New King James Version of the Bible. In everything give thanks, for this is the will of God in Christ Jesus for you. Let me read that again. In everything give thanks, for this is the will of God in Christ Jesus for you. I want to talk about an attitude of gratitude. An attitude of gratitude. You know, there's an axiom that states, or it goes this way: your attitude determines your altitude. If you believe this is truth, then you'll let nothing stop you from ascending higher and higher in the things of God. Paul was teaching that you should thank God for, well, let me say this. Paul wasn't teaching that you should thank God for everything that happens to you, but rather Paul was teaching you should thank God in everything that happens to you. For example, evil, sickness, poverty, these things don't come from God. So why would you give thanks to God for any of it? But when these circumstances rear up their ugly heads, you can still be thankful for God's presence. Psalm 16 verse 11 says, in his presence there's fullness of joy, and at his right hand there are pleasures forevermore. God will accomplish his good notwithstanding circumstances. For Romans 8:28 tells us, for we know that all things work together for good to them that love God, to them who are the called according to his purpose. It is God's will. In other words, it's God's determined desire, his choice and his pleasure according to his purpose, that believers have an attitude of gratitude. Now, when life is lifing, let me say it again. When life is lifing, when circumstances and stuff happens, be thankful. That's right. Be thankful. Offer unto God the sacrifice of thanksgiving. Call upon the name of the Lord. Thanksgiving is a sacrifice, and a sacrifice is an offering that costs you something. If it's no more than your attitude, your time, and your energy. Thanksgiving is the hallmark of faith. Colossians chapter 3 verse 15 says, and let the peace of God rule in your hearts, to the which also you are called in one body, and be thankful. Philippians chapter 4 verse 6 tells us, be careful for nothing, but in everything by prayer and supplication with thanksgiving, let your requests be known unto God. Thanksgiving and ingratitude, they're choices. Yeah, they're choices. They're exercise of the will, of your own volition. Ingratitude is a sign of the times. That is a sign of the last days we're living in. Now, faith is demonstrated by choosing to be thankful. You know, the greatest expression of faith is, and I just say this from time to time, and it bears saying this time, the greatest expression of faith is thank you. That's right, thank you. Beloved, thank you. When you can say thank you to the Lord, regardless of what circumstance you find yourself in, that's an attitude of gratitude. Well, don't forget to join us on Sundays on YouTube at 10 a.m. Eastern. Visit our website at agapeword.net. If these nuggets have been a blessing to you, drop me a note at jerrywilliams@agapeword.net. Beloved, be inspired, be edified, be encouraged, be empowered. And whatever you do, have a blessed day and have faith in God.